Welcome to Cretoni Entertainment. I'm Chris.
I'm Brie.
And we're doing a cop-out video tonight.
Because we had family stuff come up.
Well, it's not that much of a cop-out video. This is something I said I'd circle back around to over time. We did a kind of preview video of my first version of the Legendary Ranger Force for OnePageRules.
Yarp.
We're coming back around to it because, like Brie said, we had some things go down. Issue with my car came up that led to about a 3-hour delay tonight, which cut into my ability to finish painting and editing the video for our normal Marvel Crisis Paint to Call video.
Yep.
So we're going to push that to next week, unfortunately. But there was some interest in this OnePageRules stuff, and this is, it's an easier video to get out. That's why I say it's a cop-out video. It's an easier video to get out. But I want to visit my next version of the Legendary Ranger Force. I know I made a link available to the original. I know I said I'd come back and talk about the Forces of Evil later. I do have a lot of that complete. There are some that I need to add to it. We just finished painting several evil miniatures like Scorpina, Archerina, Gasket, Paluticorn. So those need to get rules. They don't currently have rules. But the Ranger rules took such a drastic turn from the original video.
Because Chris can't help himself and he overthinks everything.
That's not nice.
I love you.
I hope this is recording.
I do too. It says it is.
Remember that time that we tried this and it wasn't recording?
Well, that's because we went to full screen mode.
Where does it say it's recording? Do we have a button that says that?
Nope, we don't.
We're going to find out.
Let's look.
Yeah, we're going to see if this is recording. Whoa, you're popping things up.
I didn't even touch anything.
Don't touch the thing. It says we're recording, guys.
Okay, there.
Some of this is going to get cut off, but it says we've recorded for 1 minute and 51 seconds. We did this before for the Final Fantasy. And we completely lost all the video. We went to full screen at one more. Anyway, we're not dealing with that today. We're dealing with this. So I want to revisit the Ranger Force. I want to talk about it in some more detail, show you the changes I've made, kind of throw out there some of the changes I'm still thinking about, and I want to throw them out to you as well,
You're
Brie.
still thinking about changes?
There's always changes to make. So,
what are you, Games Workshop?
No, I'm giving this away for free.
That's a solid point.
Brie has not seen this document yet.
I saw the pictures.
You've glanced at it.
Yes.
Brie has not seen this document.
No.
She hasn't read it.
This is a blind reaction for me.
I'm going to zoom in a moment here, but so you can kind of see things a little bit better. But this is Brie's real first look at this because I want Brie's reaction and what her thoughts are on this as well. So I just made a nice little cover page that actually has some guidelines for how to use this list. Because this list doesn't exactly work like a OnePageRules list. It's very, very close. And as I've mentioned before, it can be used in both Age of Fantasy and Grimdark Future. You can also further modify it to work for Skirmish or Firefight. I'm going to do full lists for those later. But there are some guidelines on how to properly use this. As my preface, I used the official OnePageRules points calculator. So everything is kind of set up the way the creators of OnePageRules, who wrote a great game system, kind of designed it. And I used OnePageRules rules that felt like they fit.
Yeah.
So in the points calculator, it has a points value for a lot of the rules. They spread across the different armies. I probably have more special rules in this list than there are in most armies because we tried to make each ranger feel like a ranger. But I think it'll work because you're really playing a thematic game. You're not trying to do anything too overly ridiculous when you're playing the Legendary Ranger Force. Also, there are some things that I put in here that are more restrictive than OnePageRules.
Because some of the stuff when we were doing some playtests were real broken.
No, it's not even that. That's not even where I put the more restriction on.
Oh, okay.
You haven't dealt with this, really. You have played my kind of one wound version in the skirmish version.
Yes.
But I've made some changes to the big version. We'll talk about them, but just to give you an example, a squad leader or a sergeant or a champion or whatever you want to call it is an upgrade you can take in units, typically in OnePageRules. And it can be any model in the unit, and they get a bonus. And in this particular one, I limited it to be Red Ranger only, because in pretty much every team that's out right now, the Red Ranger is the leader. I may make some exceptions. And say Time Force Pink can be chosen as the leader for Hyperforce and for Time Force.
I was waiting for that. I was about to be except the Jen Scott.
But we'll talk about that. That's not where we're at right now. So I kind of set it to Red Ranger only. So, the benefit you get for being a leader is you get +1 to your hit rolls. And you may have another ranger in your squad my Black Ranger's got a power axe with a higher armor piercing value. I want that to be the one that's getting the +1 to hit. Well, you're not going to get that option. It's going to be the Red Ranger.
Right.
And that was the logic behind it. So let's talk about that. and then let's get into the list. And I'm going to set this up in 2-page mode when we get to the actual list itself, so you can see side by side the list items and the special rules. But for the intro here, kind of zoom in a little bit, I just grabbed some pictures. They're probably copyrighted. I'm probably going to get this taken down or something. I don't know. Maybe people don't care. Just some pictures.
Saban's going to show up at your door and just be like, no.
It seems likely. There's, in all the OnePageRules things, they have like a little illustration of the army, and then they have the background story and, the lore. I have more of a using this list and a background story. Put a quick little thing, just basically justifying why you'd have all these rangers together. Oh, the grid is broken, blah, blah, blah. Timelines are folding in, yada, yada, yada.
As our 2-year-olds say, it's broke.
It's broke. It's broke. Oh, no, what happened?
Oh, no.
So anyway, this using this list guidelines. So I'm not going to read these word for word. I'm just going to kind of skim them, and you kind of tell me what you think.
I don't think.
So you're going to build your army as normal, using either Age of Fantasy or Grimdark Future. A lot of times, if you're playing this list, I know there's a lot of people who watch the channel who are not actually wargamers, and this is going to be one of their first dips into wargame if they play this. So more likely than not, you'll be playing Rangers versus Forces of Evil. You can play Rangers versus Rangers and call it a training exercise. You can go Forces of Evil versus Forces of Evil and call it a power struggle. You can do whatever you want with this. But I tried to also write these rules, so if you do have somebody who's into wargaming, you can drop Rangers on the table and still have a good time, still have a fair time. So you're going to use the regular guidelines for making your list, points, values, and all this stuff. But there are some restrictions. The first one is that models should be representative of the team they're assigned to. So all the Ranger teams in this are going to start generic. Then you're going to assign a Ranger team to them if you so choose.
I don't want to.
If you assign, see, now you're just being belligerent, and that's not the point of the video. If you assign a Ranger team, and each Ranger team comes with its own special rules, all we're asking you to do here is keep them appropriate. So if you have 3 sets of the Zeo box for whatever reason, you're not taking 3 Zeo red in your squad. You're going to be limited to the cannon type Rangers. So for Zeo, that'd be 1 red, 1 pink, 1 yellow, 1 blue, and 1 green. There are some teams where I've split off the 6th Ranger as a hero.
Right.
There are some teams that I've included the 6th Ranger as an optional choice in the squad.
If it made sense for the cannon for that squad.
There are some that I'm considering rolling back into their squads. Like right now we have Jen Scotts as a hero. I don't know if Jen Scotts really fits the build to be a hero separately, but I'm thinking of rolling her in to be in the Time Force team when it releases, and you can add her to a Hyperforce team and upgrade her to a leader sort of thing. That's all kind of considerations. But basically saying, if you have 3 boxes of Zeo Rangers, to go back to our example, each Zeo squad can only have 1 Red Ranger. But again, the grid is shattered. You can have 2 Zeo Ranger squads if you have the models to support it. That said, the Ranger squads are also variable sizes, and we'll get into that. You can split them into sizes. Like the Space Rangers, I rolled Silver Ranger in as an optional add-on. So you can do 2 3-man Space Ranger squads and do like red, silver, black, and the other one blue, pink, yellow. So you can actually make 2 different teams if you want. Just be, one color per squad, and kind of be appropriate with it. That's all number 1 says. Number 2 says you can select the side of your range, slice your ranges with 3, 4, 5 miniatures. We kind of mentioned this. This was to do a couple of things. 1, it was to help deal with if your list got to a certain size and you only had a handful of points left and you couldn't fit a whole squad in. Mm-hmm. We still want to make sure you can fill up your points. 2, not all Ranger squads are the same size. Obviously the Mighty Morphin team is going to be 5, and it's going to be 5 because I've broken out green and white as heroes.
Right.
Actually, I broke out red as a hero too, but we'll get to that.
And then you've got like Dino Thunder.
And you've got like Dino Thunder, that's 3 base, but it goes up to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So if you only want to do the 3 core Dino Thunder or the 3 Omegas, you buy the 3-man squad. If you want to do the Mighty Morphin team, but you chose the hero version of Jason, you might get a 4-person Mighty Morphin team and let the hero Jason join them. So you've got some options. But what it's saying here is there's 2 points values listed, or 3 points values listed, and they're all separated by a slash. The lowest one is for the lowest number of models, and so on and so forth. Pretty simple.
Yep.
It saves room, me writing more lines on the page. Number 3, when you upgrade your power weapons, each power weapon can only be chosen once per unit and is used by a single model. This kind of matters because it's more for bookkeeping than anything else. If I put it in this one place and say it doesn't have to be repeated every single power weapon option.
Right.
So if you're playing Mighty Morphin and you have 1 red power sword, you get 1 red power sword. I might make an exception for Mighty Morphin because there's 2 sets of models for them. Maybe you can have Jason and Rocky in the same squad. I don't know how we can discuss that later. But if you take a power weapon, the Ranger loses their CCW or their close combat weapon. If you choose a Forever Ranger or Once a Ranger squad, you have the freedom to pick your own team. Now, I have not figured out a rule for Forever Rangers yet, or for Once a Rangers yet, but Forever Rangers are really kind of designed so that you can, you don't have to buy a team bonus. You're not going to get a team bonus for doing that.
Right.
But you will get all those different power weapons. So if you want to go a full team of yellow, you can be like, here's daggers on Trini, here's chucks on Tanya, here's the Cryas hammer on Jack, and so on and so forth. And it just gives you an opportunity to play them type of squad.
I like that.
I think Once a Ranger is going to get some kind of special rule, only because that was, Adam's Legendary Ranger Force.
Right.
Maybe there'll be some kind of special rule that represents kind of true that legendary status. That hasn't really been put in yet. And then finally, 2 heroes. Oh, I'm sorry. And the last thing is any model with a power weapon can be chosen to be considered the Red Ranger for purposes of the team leader upgrade in a Forever Ranger squad.
Okay.
Because obviously you're not going to have a Red Ranger in a Forever Blue squad. So you pick one of them to kind of count.
Obviously, it's always going to be the MMPR person.
Unless it's Space Blue, because he was a Red Ranger, so I guess technically. Anyway.
Because there's never enough love for TJ.
And certain heroes are going to have multiple points values. The lower points value is only there to fit them into a Forever squad. So the higher points value is the hero. It's going to be, most heroes are going to be tough 3, so they have 3 life points before they go down. They typically have a special rule attached to them, so they have a higher points value. If you want to add them to a squad, like a Forever squad or a Once a Ranger squad, you pay the lower points cost, you dump all their special rules, you get to keep their quality, keep their defense, and keep their equipment, but you dump all their special rules, and you drop their life points down to 1, but you pay the cheaper cost.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of the outline on how to use this list. And kind of like I promised here, we're going to go to, that's not what I meant to hit. We're going to go to a side-by-side page mode so you can kind of see how the rules interact with each other. But first, and again, Bree has not seen this at all. So
I haven't seen this at all.
You haven't seen this at all. This is going to make Bree surprised here real quick. A moment from our sponsor, High Voltage Wear.
Thanks, lover.
These are some photos of some jewelry Bree has created recently. I've mentioned this before, that Bree has an Etsy site. It's High Voltage Wear, HI Voltage WARE. Link in the description. And feel free to check it out. There's just some cool stuff she does with hardware and whatnot. I mean, I particularly like this upper right one here. It's influenced. I gave her the influence, kind of influenced by the Vulcan Idic.
Yes.
From Star Trek, but it's made out of, it's got a hex nut and a resistor and whatever the heck that bead is. It's probably just a bead.
It's just a glass bead.
Sometimes the bead is just a bead.
And filled with resin.
So I threw these up here for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to let people know about High Voltage Wear. I mentioned it in a couple of videos. It is some really cool stuff, especially if you have a geeky or significant other who likes this kind of stuff. Check out High Voltage Wear. It's a great handmade option for stuff, and it keeps Bree away from my monies.
Dang. Well, it does fund my Michael's habit.
But anyway, that's, link in the description. Don't want to dwell on that. The other reason I put this in here is because I had a 3-page document. Every time I tried to do 2-page view, it was screwing up what I wanted to see.
Oh, I see.
I'm supportive.
It's not really the support. It's just that I fit the area.
Absolutely. You're fitting the demographic today. So shameless capitalism plug, purely based off of I needed more space.
Yep.
But when we scroll down, here's the actual Armatures. Now, this is
way more complicated than the last time I saw it.
This is less complicated. It looks more complicated, but it's actually a lot easier to manage. It was really, really complex last time.
Have you been drinking? How is that easier to see?
Well, it's big. I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to go back to one-page view for just a little bit. We're going to zoom in because a good chunk of this doesn't necessarily need that other stuff. So you have your actual list here. It's not that many entries. It's in alphabetical order, probably. I worked on these a lot of late nights, so there's probably something out of alphabetical order.
You mean like Vulcan Skull, the Ranger Team, and the Dino Megazord down there?
Those are a little different because this is kind of set up like a one-page rules army list. All of your hero choices are kind of up here in alphabetical order.
Oh.
Then your unit choices, and then like your artillery vehicle style choices.
I see.
So thank you for calling me out on that. I'm sure there's actually something else in here. Now, you'll also notice on the Rangers, just for example, we tagged Phantom Ranger as black. Actually, I'm going to make a real-time change to this right now. And oh no, what did I do? Oh, this is a PDF. I can't do that. I got to do it on the main document. I'll change it on the main document. We'll get to that. So I want to run through the heroes real quick, and then we'll kind of talk about how the teams are built up. So you have an Alpha 5 and you have an Alpha 6.
I love their flailing limbs.
The only reason I kind of have Alpha 5 and Alpha 6 is because there's 2 Alpha models out there.
Yeah.
So there's not a huge thing. So they have Quality 6, Defense 6, which, again, I mentioned this previous video, so if you've never played a war game before, Quality 6 in this game means anytime you're called on to make an actionable test, a morale check, make an attack,
you gotta roll 6.
You roll on your quality. You need to roll a 6 or higher on a 6-sided die. How do you roll a higher? Sometimes bonuses happen.
Yeah.
So if you have a +1 modifier, you roll a 5. 5 plus 1 equals 6. 6 plus 1 equals 7. A 6 always succeeds. Basically, Alpha is not succeeding in a lot of quality checks. That is not Alpha's point.
Alpha should not be fighting.
No, because you can use whatever quality check is higher for morale if a hero is in a squad.
Yes.
And Alpha's fighting is not supposed to do anything. So the quality is not going to come up that often if you're using Alpha the way Alpha is meant to be used, and that's added to a squad.
Yes, Alpha should not be out there fighting his own fight.
So both Alphas have 1 attack with their flailing limbs. Both Alphas are considered heroes, and the reason both Alphas are considered heroes is so you can deploy them inside of a unit. That's really all a hero does in OnePageRules. It gives you the ability to attach them to a unit, deploy them together, and it's considered a part of the unit. Because the big things are you have the portable energy field on Alpha 5 and the energy dampening device on Alpha 6. There are no upgrade options, hence the dash, and each alpha costs 15 points. I'm not going to do this exact thing for every single entry, just kind of giving you an idea how to read this. So how do you read this? Well, you know what hero does. It's in the main rules of the game. Portable energy field, your special rules are hiding down in the special rules section on the second page, and they are probably in alphabetical order. I worked on these on a lot of late nights and a couple times while drinking, so something may be out of alphabetical order. But you have, the energy dampening device. Enemy wizards within 12 inches get -1 to their rolls when casting spells. So your Ritas, your Zeds, your Wizard of Deception, they're going to have a harder time casting within 12 inches of Alpha.
To kill Alpha,
but Alpha's going to be hidden in a unit, so the player controlling Alpha
unit right away.
Correct. And then the other Alpha has the portable. Here's where I think I might have screwed up here. The portable energy field. This unit may block spells as if it had the Wizard 2 special rule. So you get to basically once per turn, you get a chance to try to counter a spell.
I don't like either of those things, and they both must die. Nothing personal, Alpha.
So then you have the Magma Defender, and you'll notice next to the Alphas and the Magma Defenders and everybody, there's little brackets with a number. That's how many models come in this unit. It should be self-explanatory, but I'm trying to make this as complete as possible. You'll also notice I have attached a color to Magma Defender. I've attached a color to all of the Hero Rangers because that helps you identify which Forever team they can go in.
Legit.
So Magma Defender, we're considering a Black Ranger can go in the Forever Black teams. We're going to make a change to Phantom Ranger because we painted ours up as the Morphonaut from the newer comics. So we are actually going to make Phantom Ranger a black/white option.
Depending on how you paint your model.
Yeah, you can put it in either team. Even if you paint one white, you can put it in the black team, paint it black, put it in the white team. Doesn't matter. We're making it a black/white, and the main reason we're doing that is there's 2 main reasons. One, the Morphonaut is cool. And 2, there aren't enough White Ranger models to really make a Forever White Ranger team yet. So
that
now we have that option.
Yeah.
So anyway, Magma Defender, Quality 3, Defense 2. You see the drastic difference between Magma Defender and Alpha.
Yes.
Defense 2 means when Magma Defender gets hit, Magma Defender is rolling a 2+ to shrug that. Armor piercing will reduce that number, but it's Ranger armor is Ranger armor. It's really good. We've got the Magna Blade, 4 attacks with armor piercing 3. That means you're going to subtract 3 from somebody's defense roll when they try to stop your dice. So using Magma Defender's own defense value 2, if I roll my 4 attacks, and let's say I roll a 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Well, all 4 of those would hit on Magma Defender because I have a 3+ quality. So 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6, that's all 3 or greater. And then if Magma Defender had to defend against himself, I would then roll 4 dice. On those 4 dice, I would then subtract each one by 3 because of the AP3. So let's say the same thing. 3, 4, 5, 6 is my defense roll. Well, the first one's a 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. That doesn't defend. I take a damage. 4 minus 3 is 1. That's not a 2+. I would take a damage. 5 minus 3 is 2. That is a 2+. I would not take a damage, and so on and so forth. Magma Defender is a hero. Magma Defender is tough 3, meaning Magma Defender has 3 damage before he goes down.
Yep.
And he has the Reap special rule.
What does that mean?
So this is pretty cool. I don't know anything about Magma Defender. This just seemed to I have no idea what he's fighting for.
Neither does he.
That's all I know about Magma Defender is battle for the grid. He shows him and goes, "You have no idea what I'm fighting for." And I'm like, "Yes, and you won't tell me." So Reap, enemies that roll to block hits from this weapon take an additional wound for each unmodified 1 that they roll. So unmodified 1, that specifically means without the armor piercing. So you can't be like, you rolled a 4, 4 minus 3 is 1, take an extra 1. No, unmodified. The pip on the dice reads 1.
Right.
So if you roll 1s to block Magma Defender, you take more damage because reasons. And Magma Defender is a split model. He's 40 points if you take him in a Forever Black team. He gets all this equipment and quality and defense, but you would lose the special rules. He's 85 points if you take him with the special rules, and he is a hero, so he can be deployed alone or in any ranger team of your choice. All right. Whew,
you made this very U-Talk heavy. Because, you know.
Well, I want your reactions to these rangers and whatnot, and I know your gut reaction is always, that seems so powerful, and then you play and you're like, that wasn't so bad.
No, I just have jokes about how useless
so why don't you take the next ranger?
No, I'm not.
You take the next ranger.
You're not going to make me talk about him.
Take the next ranger.
Oh, you're going to give me Tommy. I see how it is.
It was incidental.
It was incidental. My foot. He did it on purpose. Okay, so then you have Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Green, which is Tommy specifically. He's a 3+ and 2+.
Let me save everybody a little bit of time. Pretty much all the rangers are 3+, 2+.
That's what I thought we had discussed as what was going to happen with them. He's got the Dragon Dagger, which has 4 attacks, AP 1.
Now, a note about this. You'll see kind of why I put in the AP 1 and the 4 attacks momentarily. Part of it has to do with its dagger. I tried to start kind of standardizing some of the weapons.
Yeah.
If they're daggers, they tend to have a certain type of status. If they're power swords, they have a turn. Not everybody follows that rule, but as a general guideline, I kind of go by that.
Oh, okay. And then he has all sorts of special rules.
Yes.
He's got Ambush, which I believe is the one that kind of lets him do a move after he's been deployed.
No, he gets to deploy after the first turn. Anywhere on the table more than 9 inches away from an opponent.
Oh, okay.
This was inspired by how many episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the whole team is fighting, and then, Tommy was off, I don't know, doing whatever he was doing, fluffing his mullet.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, doing his hair.
He was all fluffing his mullet, and he gets that, that call from Zordon, and then all of a sudden Green Ranger comes flying in through the air. This is that.
Dragon Strike.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's do all the special rules at once.
He's a hero.
Correct.
Cool. He has Power Shield, which is probably going to be some kind of increase to his defense.
Yeah, I actually ended up making the Power Shield a generic thing. In the original version of this list, it was different for each ranger that had a Power Shield.
Right.
I've kind of standardized it a little bit, and part of that was to make it easier to play this as an army game.
There you go. And then he's also Tough 3, which once again means that he's going to take 3 wounds before he actually gets hurt.
Yep, and he has no upgrades, so he is what it is when you take him. He's 30 points if you take him without special rules in a squad. He's 100 points if you take him with all these special rules. So, Ambush, we kind of talked about. Dragon Strike is inspired, it's right here, is inspired by the Furious rule, except it's stronger.
Stronger than before?
Yes, this model gets +2 attacks to his melee weapon when he charges.
Oh, well, that makes sense. It's kind of his reckless behavior.
Correct. So there was a consideration to give the Dragon Dagger AP2 because it's a special dagger.
It's a dagger that sings at you.
But when I have a dagger that's going to get up to 6 attacks, AP2 gets a little broken.
Yes, it does.
Some of this was meant for game balance reasons as well. He also has a Power Shield, which right here, this model benefits from the Regeneration special rule.
Oh.
So the Regeneration special rule basically says if he fails a defense roll,
yes,
he gets an additional chance, and on a 5 or better, he's going to shrug the damage.
Okay.
So it's going to let a ranger like Tommy stay in the fight a little bit longer, which complements his loner nature, and 2, his ambush rule. Because if a hero joins a unit and the hero has ambush but the unit doesn't, you don't get to use that rule.
Right.
So if you want Tommy to be in a squad as the full 3 wound Tommy, he's not going to get to use the ambush rule unless that squad has ambush, which very few of them do. So, but you can now field Tommy almost as a special forces because he's got that regenerate, and he's going to be able to charge up to 12 inches because the movement ranges in this game are 6 to regular move, 12 to run, or 12 to charge. So he can drop in on turn 2, 9 inches away, activate early in the turn, charge 12, and get those 6 attacks on something. And that's that reckless Green Ranger that everybody but me tends to love.
I don't think that's everybody.
Everybody in the world. Next up is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Red. Jason. I could be accused of playing favoritism towards Jason because Jason is my favorite Power Ranger of all time.
I mean,
it always has been, always will be. Don't know why. There it is. It's out in the open. I've said it before, though, so it's been out in the open. I don't think anybody can legitimately argue that Jason is not a legendary Ranger. I think that's a very difficult argument to make.
I mean,
he literally leads an army of Rangers in the Shattered Grid storyline.
Yeah.
He literally says, screw it, my life's not as important as trying to stop what we're doing here. And he's targeting, Bendora Palace with the Q-Rex Zord. Jason is constantly an inspiration ranger. That's what he does.
What's the final count? How many monsters did he one-shot on his own?
I don't know, but I do believe he still holds the record for solo monster kills. So we can't argue that Jason is not a legendary ranger. Now, you'll notice this is specifically Mighty Morphin Red Jason. I did not apply this to Omega. The Omega Rangers I kind of built as a Special Forces Ranger team kind of down the road because they're supposed to be supremely powerful.
I mean, yes.
But anyway, he's 3+2+. He's got a power sword, attacks 4, AP3. Again, kind of standardized that with the power swords. He comes equipped with a blade blaster, 12-inch range, one shot, AP1. He is a hero. He is tough 3. He's 45 points if you put him in a Forever Red squad.
Right.
He's 85 points if you use him as a hero. He has upgrade slot A.
Ooh, what's A? What's A?
So tell me. So you can take Jason exactly as printed here at 85 points.
Right.
Or upgrade with Dragon Shield plus Dragon Dagger for 15 points. I need to double check the math on that. I think I might have been wrong on that math. But the Dragon Shield is a power shield.
Right.
And the Dragon Dagger, and I think I need to specifically note that. I think I forgot to specifically note that. So you can get him up to a power shield and give him that Dragon Dagger, which has the same stats that Tommy's does. Jason just needs to get the bonus attack on the charge. Jason can also be upgraded with the Leadership Special Rule for 30 points.
Ouch.
So the Leadership Special Rule, however, is significant. The hero and his unit get +1 to their melee attack rolls.
Oh, that's real handy.
So he can take a squad of Rangers from 3+ to 2+.
Yeah.
Very, very, very strong.
And that would make them super, super painful.
So let's jump back to you.
Who am I doing next? Do I have to go in order? Can I jump to somebody else?
Nope.
Why not?
Because this time I did set you up.
Ugh, you keep giving me Green Rangers.
I know.
Why?
This is a White Ranger.
Oh, no, it's a white. You just don't want to talk about Tommy. You just being a whole butthead.
The alphabet is not on your side.
Alphabet is against me. So it's white, 3/2. Ooh, he has Saba, which gives him 4 attacks, AP1. And then he's got Saba's I-beams, pew pew, which is a 12-inch attack at 6 attacks.
6 attacks, no AP, just 6 attacks.
Attack, but still, ow.
Now, some people might say, but Chris, Saba is a power sword. Well, I disagree. I think Saba's a different grade, and I thought about giving Saba...
He's a sassy sword, that's what he is.
Well, I thought about giving Saba like a 3 attack at AP2.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, no, Saba did have like the I-beam thing every once in a while. So instead, I treated it more like a Dragon Dagger plus a shooting attack to represent Saba. And it may or may not work. I may make changes if I need to.
I miss the fact that Saba got to talk a whole lot more in the Japanese version. And we barely get him talking in the American.
It's fine. Anyway, his special rules.
Sassy sword. He's a hero. He's tough 3, and he has the white light.
And you'll notice he's pointed about the same as Jason at 85 or 45. You segment it Forever White Ranger or Once a Ranger team.
Yeah. What's white light?
His white light.
Oh,
when this model,
that one.
When this model fights in melee, roll a die and get one of these bonuses. On a 1 or a 2, he gets AP +1. That brings him to AP2 on his sword.
Mm-hmm.
If he rolls a 3 or 4, he gets +1 attack. If he rolls a 5 or 6, the enemies get -1 to hit on him.
They're too shocked by the brightness of his suit.
So I opted not to apply a power shield to Mighty Morphin White. And I did that for a couple of reasons. 1, with a power shield, he's not significantly different than Mighty Morphin Green.
Right.
And 2, we never actually saw the white power shield do that much.
Mostly just made him look snazzy.
Yeah, made him look snazzy mostly in the show. And 3, I think white light kind of represents it with that 5-6 roll.
Yeah.
Then we go on to Ninja Storm Green Ranger. I'm going to be honest, I know nothing about the Ninja Storm team. There's a lot of later Rangers that Bree and I don't know enough about. We need to, Space is now on YouTube. We need to load that up for Julia.
Yep.
But anyway, Ninja Storm Green Ranger, I kind of based this off of just kind of what I imagined this Ranger to be. I don't even know this Ranger's name. Anyway, 3-2 as usual. Samurai Saber, gave him 3 attacks at AP1. I figured it doesn't. I don't really think it's his power weapon that he's modeled with, and the weapons I gave you as options tend to be the one that the figures from Renegade Games came with.
Right. Which makes sense. We
So,
don't. Nobody
and then,
has to go out there.
but then
doing
I was reading on a lot of these ranges. I was typing in like Ninja Storm Green special powers, and I was reading that he uses his sheath as a weapon on occasion. So this is actually why I toned him down from 4 attacks at AP1 to 3 attacks at AP1 because we gave him 2 attacks with no AP to represent his saber. He's 35 points if you strip his special rules being Hero and Tough, 75 points otherwise, and he does have an upgrade. He's one of the few Rangers with an upgrade because there was an alternate sculpt available from Renegade. He gets upgrade slot B. He can go Super Samurai mode for 25 points, and Super Samurai mode, when in melee, units with this special rule count as having caused plus D3 extra wounds when determining who wins the combat.
Okay. Good to know, by the way, because, hey, PowerRangerFandoms.com, which has been super helpful in us.
That's where I got a lot of the information from.
He's actually should be a Forever Ranger. Because he has more than one...
Well, they all have the option of being a Forever Ranger.
Well, I mean, but he's...
a 6th Ranger. Yeah, I know he's the 6th Ranger for the team.
No. I mean, he's 2 different Rangers. He was both the Green Samurai Ranger, and he's also the Green Solar Ranger.
Oh, he was the Green Solar Ranger.
He's also the Green Solar Ranger.
Maybe we'll have him eventually. Anyway, let's move on to the next character here. This one will make up for what I just threw at you.
It's Ninjor.
Ninjor, definitely do right.
Okay, the best part is I've heard the Japanese voice for Ninjor.
Ninja Man, you mean?
Yeah, Ninja Man. And it's like a much more like hardcore, yeah, this is a hero's voice. And then he comes over here and he's flipping Dudley Do-Right.
I love his Dudley Do-Right voice.
He's a 3+ and a 2+, so he's just like all the other Rangers. He has his Nimbus Blade,
again,
which is just like a Power Ranger.
Same stats as a Dragon Dagger because it's not like that. Like it's not like the Magna Blade. It's not like big and beefy and Conan the Barbarian with mecha power.
You know what? So Power Coin creator.
Yep.
He's a hero.
Yep.
He's tough 3 like everybody else, and he's also a wizard. So
with Wizard, he gets a couple of additional options. During his turn, his activation, he may cast a spell. And we'll look at the spells momentarily. Alternatively, if he doesn't cast a spell, he may attempt to block an enemy wizard spell if they are within so many inches of him. I forget the exact number. It's in the base rules of the game. I think it's 18 or 24.
We should have given him flight.
Anyway, we may consider that.
Okay,
but he's already clocking in at a hefty 150 points.
He is expensive
so
boy.
So why is he clocking in at 150 points?
Because he's a wizard.
Now, being a wizard 1 means he gets to pick... every wizard can cast 1 spell per turn. You take the spell value, it has a dice roll number you have to hit, and you add your wizard level.
Okay.
So he's a wizard level 1. The spell list is down here.
Wizards.
Covering fire on a 4+, so Ninja would actually need a 3 or better.
Right.
Target unit within 12 takes 3 hits at AP1.
Okay.
Supercharged power weapons, 4+. Target unit within 12 inches gets poison in melee.
Ooh.
Poison in melee means if somebody rolls a 6 to hit, an unmodified... I think it's unmodified. Unmodified 6 to hit.
Yeah.
That hit counts as 3 hits.
Okay.
Defender wheel. Yeah, I had to put that in. That's a 5+. Target unit within 12 inches takes 1 hit with AP4 and Deadly 3. Deadly 3 means it does 3 points of damage. AP4 obviously is -4. That's a big hit.
That is a big hit.
Morphin Grid realignment on a 5+. Target unit within 12 inches gets regeneration. Now, this only lasts for a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Colorful explosions. I got to unbold that there.
Yeah, you do.
6+. Target 2 units within 6 inches take 8 hits.
Oh my!
That's their making a pose and all the explosions going off the background. That's actually what. And finally, back to action.
Back to action
is a 6+. Target unit within 12 inches may charge 6 inches and gets +1 to hit.
Nice.
So they just get to rush back in. So that's pretty cool.
You do know though, if I ever use Ninjor, that I'm actually going to have like a back to action.
No, that's fine. I would expect you to. Like, you got to play video in the background.
Yeah.
And the other reason he's 150 points is Power Coin Creator. The hero and his unit get +1 to hit rolls in melee and +1 to morale test rolls.
Ooh.
Because he's the creator of the Power Coins, man. You want this guy on your side.
Yeah.
So I've already noticed a couple mistakes. 1, I got to unbold that spell. 2, I got to define specifically that the Dragon Shield is a power shield for Jason. So this is actually good to be doing this. I know this video is going to run long, and this is probably a good video to watch in chunks.
Chunky video.
Next up is Phantom Ranger. Black Ranger, we're going to add in White Ranger to this.
Yep.
Gave him the Phantom Laser, 12-inch, 2 attacks, AP1. The Ruby Blast, made out a 30-inch A3 rending.
my gosh!
Rending means if he rolls a 6 to hit on any of those attacks, they count as AP 4 and ignore regeneration.
Right?
And he has a close combat weapon for 2 attacks.
Yeah.
He's a hero. He's got Phantom Shot, Stealth, and Tough. He's 50
stealthy.
points. He's 50 points if you take him forever. Again, you lose special rules. 90 points otherwise. I may give him Ambush as well. Stealth means if you shoot at him, then he is -1 to hit.
Right.
And Phantom Shot
What's that?
is right here. I don't know. I don't remember. Whenever this unit shoots, pick one of the following shot types. Rapid, +1 attack when shooting, or Precise, +2 AP when shooting.
Ooh, that's ouch.
So, Phantom Ranger. All right, let's move on. We're going to speed these up just a little bit to save a little time, but it's back to you, and you get another good ranger that you like.
I do. I get one that I like now. Rebel Ranger Slayer Pink. Okay, same things. She has a power bow, which is a 30-inch.
Now, I may reduce her defense. I have not decided yet because she's not actually morphed.
You're not actually morphed.
So I may do that. That's not yet decided. Plus, when you actually see some of her other special rules, you realize she's probably not going to be super close to most combats.
I mean,
so it might not hurt her to lose that defense. It would only make her less expensive. But continue.
Power bow, which is a 30-inch 2-attack AP1 shot, and it's deadly.
Deadly 3.
Oh,
she is a sniper.
Snap.
She is a sniper. And she's got a close combo weapon.
And she's got a close, but who cares about that?
But, well, see, what you should more care about is there.
She's a quick shot. What is quick shot?
Tell the people what quick shot means. Did I put it in here? I actually remember what it means. This unit may shoot even when rushing. So normally in this game...
She can rush and shoot?
So normally in this game, if you stand still or you move your 6 inches, you can still shoot.
Right.
She can run 12 and then take a shot. So she actually has an effective threat range of 42 inches.
Yeah, girl.
So it also helps her stay out of harm's way. Something's moving closer that maybe has a 24-inch range. She can run out of the way, take a couple pot shots on the way out. So good for her.
Yeah.
Santa Ranger.
You did this so you can get Santa.
I did not, actually. I just kind of...
He has no attacks.
Santa doesn't hit people.
I mean, Santa.
I thought about having Santa bitch slap, but... But Santa is the most expensive single ranger here.
He is... Yeah.
He has 195 points.
I guess if you
why is he
the magic of Christmas.
Why is he 195 points with no attacks?
Because he's wizard.
Because he's got the magic of Christmas and he's a wizard too.
Yeah.
And
wizard
I don't have a cough button, so I apologize. I turned away. So he's a wizard too. So again, he gets to cast one of these spells every turn. He adds 2 to his dice roll. But that, who cares about that? When you have magic of Christmas, when this unit is activated, pick up to 2 friendly units within 6 inches and roll 1 die for each. On a 4+, they may heal D3 wounds or restore D3 models with only 1 health left each if they had tough.
Did you steal that from my robots?
I think that was actually stolen from one of the undead factions.
Because I swear to you, that reads almost like my robots.
I stole most of the special rules from the fantasy side, but some of them do kind of bleed into the Grimdark. So Santa can actually bring back fallen rangers. That's awesome. Now, that's restoring something to a unit. So if you were to say MMPR Green ambushed in, charged in, got himself killed, that unit is off the table. It cannot be restored. Back. You have to still have at least 1 model left to be restoring things.
Right.
But you could heal him.
You could heal him.
Because each one of these heroes does count as a unit, even if they are separate. So he has 195 points, but he has the ability to bring back Rangers. Now, this is not as bad as it sounds when we get to the evil side. There are literally monsters in the evil side that can generate new units.
Yes, they
can.
can.
So this is not as bad for Bria as she's probably going to make it sound.
I love you,
after
Finster.
Santa Ranger is...
Shadow Ranger. I love Shadow Ranger. Okay, he's a blue, so he can go on a forever blue team. 3/2 Shadow Saber. At least I hear it in my head.
You do it? Yeah. From the game. Battle for the Grid?
Yeah. Shadow Saber. 3 attacks, AP2. That is beefy. Hero Shadow Strike, which is an impact 2 attack.
Meaning when he charges somebody, he does 2 automatic hits. Now, they don't have an AP value. Right. But it's just basically as soon as he makes contact, take 2 saves.
And he's tough 3. And he's actually not too bad.
80 points.
That's not bad.
80 points reasonable. 30 if you strip him of his special rules.
But why would you do that?
Solar Purple Ranger.
What is that?
Solar Purple Ranger.
I don't think you're saying that word.
Solar Purple Ranger. She has the Void Chakram and the Void Chakram. One is her swinging at melee. One of her is throwing at it. They're both A3, AP1. But if she throws it, she's got an 18-inch range.
I have a question.
Yes, dear.
Does Solar Ranger, when she throws that, does she do that little like Xena?
Sure.
Because that's what Xena had, was that little thingy.
I take back what I said, though. She is the most expensive ranger.
She is the most...
200 points.
What? The Nuggets?
Unless she's in a Forever Ranger squad. I may actually go ahead and make her red/blue for the Forever squad, because there really aren't a lot of purple rangers yet.
I think
actually there are. There's Bulk, there's Wolf Ranger, and there's her.
Which would be the most useless team ever.
I may come back to that. I may come back to this. Right now, I don't really have a way to put Bulk in a Forever team. I'm going to figure that out. There's something new to add. Anyway, she has...
What's the point of even taking Bulk on his own, though?
We're going to get to that. So, we have the Solar X Teleporter.
Yeah, what does that do?
So the Solar X Teleporter, the hero and his unit, this should really say her, get the ambush special rule, and once they are deployed, they get the fast rule the next time they move.
What?
So the fast rule increases your speed by 3, basically.
Yeah.
So when they drop in, they can actually move 9, charge 18.
I can't say the words that I'm thinking of, but biscuits.
And being a hero, she can apply that to any ranger team.
Holy biscuits!
But that's why she's 200 points.
Yeah.
So on to you again.
Yes, Super Samurai Red. Oh yeah, Lauren. Woo! She gets her spin saber. 3/2. Lauren doesn't. Oh, so she's just gonna be there. Yeah, she's red, so she can go on the Forever Red team. Cool. Blazing.
That's actually why she's some of these rangers I wouldn't normally classify as heroes,
right?
But they don't have a team to regularly go in. That's kind of why I did that.
She has Blazing Strike.
Yep.
What's that? That sounds like
and
something
she's a hero and tough
at
95 points. So Blazing Strike, and this is the reason I gave her 3 attacks at AP2 instead of 4 attacks at AP3 like most power swords.
Years.
Once per round, models with this special rule may either deal 3 automatic hits with AP1 when fighting in melee, or to one enemy unit within 12 inches when shooting.
Oh dear.
That's her little samurai sigil thing that they explode.
Yeah, it explodes.
So she's going to get 3 extra attacks at AP1. So I figured making her a 4-attack AP3 power sword was a little over the top.
Might be a little OP.
And again, I have not play tested a lot of this, so maybe we'll play it and go, you know what, let's try her with that, but we're not there yet. So that's Super Samurai Red, and then we got Time Force Pink.
I'm taking this one. Well, I rude, by the way, that you give Lauren her name, but you don't put Jen's next to her.
I was drinking when I wrote this. I also didn't write Anubis Kruger for blue.
I mean, because that would be.
I also didn't write Ninja Store's name because I don't know his name.
Okay.
Anyway, I assume his name is Ninja.
No, actually, I think it's Cameron.
That's close enough. It's Gaelic for ninja.
That is not.
Yeah, I recently learned that Kate Sith from Final Fantasy VII is actually named Ket She. It is a Gaelic name.
Oh.
Yeah, it's spelled Kate Sith, pronounced Ket She.
Well, there you go.
It's kind of like spelling your name Thwart Warbler Mangrove, but pronouncing it Raymond Luxury Yacht. That was actually pretty offensive to anyone who speaks Gaelic. It's not how I meant it. Anyway, Time Force Pink.
Time Force Pink. Yay! She has the V5 blaster.
You're taking the next ranger too. If you're taking Jen,
you're a dick. She has the V5 blaster, which is 30-inch. Yes, A3, AP2. Woot woot. Close combat. Who cares? She's never going to get that close to anybody.
She might.
She's a hero. And she has temporal tramps.
Yeah, because I figure she's a Time Force Ranger. I don't actually know what their powers are, but this seems like a Time Forcey thing. She's 105 points.
We really need to get Durach and some of those other Rangers.
Enemy units that fight in melee against this hero count as having the slow special rule for the rest of the game. So they drop to 4-inch speed instead of 6.
Ooh.
And that would be an 8-inch charge. So, yeah, if somebody does get close enough to Jen, they're slowing down. So I'll be a man. I'll take the next one. TJ, Turbo Red Ranger. Lightning Sword, A3, AP2, again, because
like
Lightning Sword well, it's not as beefy as some of the bigger power. Like the Mighty Morphin Power Sword, it looks like a broadsword. And Magma Defender's blade, I mean, forget about it. That thing is, that should be like AP, that should be AP6.
He's just out there with a whole Highland.
But the Lightning Sword, I figure, is quicker and not as strong because he is fast by default. So he's speed 9.
Because he's a speedy little turbo ranger.
So he can run around really, really fast, but he doesn't have but he's only 3 attacks AP2. So he's the kind of guy that you buy this model, you kind of keep him in reserve, and then when things get real, he rushes in. Eventually, we'll get the whole turbo team. The whole team will have fast. It'll be crazy. He's 80 points.
It'll be like zip, zip, zip.
So you can do the next one, and then I'm taking the next 2.
Oh, of course you are. So I get the Wolf Ranger. I like him. He's fun.
I imagine him like a monk from a Japanese RPG. I know nothing about Wolf Ranger, just his pose. I'm like, this guy's the monk. That inspires his attacks here.
And he's got the hand wraps and everything too. So he has wolf claws, which are a 6.
Just 6 attacks, no AP.
6 attack, no AP, but still. But he also has energy strike.
Energy strike.
What
So he's 80 points and energy strike. So 6 attacks with no AP makes him really good at taking down like putty patrollers.
Yes,
and other foot soldiers. Energy strike. When in melee, may pick one model from the enemy unit and roll 1 die. On a 2+, it takes 1 hit at deadly 3.
Oh.
So while he's not going to do, 6 attacks against like a defense 2 or even a defense 3 monster is not going to push a lot through.
Yeah.
But he'll also potentially get this bonus hit that does 3 damage.
Which could he easily take out?
Depending on the monster, because the monsters, when we get to the Forces of Evil, you see that a lot of them are 3/6.
Yes.
So you have 2 different ways you can take them.
Yes.
So next we have the Zeo Rangers. We got Zeo Gold and Zeo Gold, Jason and Trey. Why do they have 2 entries? Because I did make them slightly different. I did slightly. I gave Trey a little bit less AP value than Jason, because as you and I have observed in watching Austin St. John's fighting on the show and his stunt doubles fighting on the show, especially unmorphed in the Mighty Morphin era.
Yeah.
When he kicks you, it looks like you stay kicked.
That's true.
It looks like actually the big difference that we have observed in the stunt fighting of Austin St. John and Jason David Frank is Jason David Frank seems to be a more martial arts style that's about style and speed and landing quick hits, which it's not. Is it Taekwondo that does that? Maybe. And it might be Kung Fu I'm thinking of. Whereas Austin St. John seems to be more of a karate guy, which is less hits, but they land more power.
Yeah.
Now, when you actually see Trey fight, most of the time he does significant melee damage seems to be with his energy abilities. And you'll see his energy ability is a little bit better than Jason's.
That's because he's 3 guys hitting you at once.
Correct. So Jason's Golden Power Staff is 6 attacks, AP 2. This is the Gold Ranger. This is not supposed to be somebody who F's around. The Gold Ranger power is presumably, and
if he's left the pool with the girls.
Well, the implication is the Zeo powers tend to get stronger over time, and I know technically the gold power is not part of the Zeo crystal, but kind of is the same family of powers.
Yes.
So theoretically, at
least in the American,
the Zeo powers should be getting exponentially stronger. There's probably not a whole lot of Rangers that can truly stand up to a fully powered Gold Ranger.
Yeah.
Now, while Jason couldn't hold that power forever, you had his experience combined with that golden power is going to give him some pretty powerful attacks. So he's attack 6, AP 2. He's got Gold Rush Jason and Power Shield. He's 115 points. Trey is 6 attacks at AP 1 with Gold Rush Trey. So Gold Rush Jason, when this unit is activated, pick 2 enemy units within 12 inches. Those units take a morale check. If failed, they take 3 hits. So the morale check could potentially be easy if you're throwing it at like putties. It could be really hard if you're throwing it at a monster. Gold Rush Trey, when this unit's activated, pick 2 enemy units within 12 and just roll a die. For each 2+, they take 3 hits at AP 1. So his Gold Rush is stronger than Jason's.
Yeah.
And I gave it a range attack because it's zipping around like a pinball. Like a pinball on methamphetamines.
I don't think you should say it that way.
All right, so we're kind of coming into Bulk and Skull.
Yeah.
So you're going to do Bulk and Skull?
I love Bulk and Skull. Yay!
So Bulk and Skull look terrible.
They do. Quality 5, 3 defense ain't great. And they have the Cockroach Karate combo, which is only 1 attack.
1 attack each.
And they have Distracting Antics.
Now, Distracting Antics is where Bulk and Skull kind of come into their own. They are a support unit, 100%. Distracting Antics, when this unit is activated, pick 2 friendly units within 12 inches, which get stealth the next time they're shot at. So they're distracting you so the other Rangers can sneak up.
They're doing wacky hijinks.
They are.
Okay, but what is Cockroach Karate?
It's just 1 attack.
That's it.
It's just a fun name.
That's all you gave Bulk.
So then we have the Ranger team. We're going to kind of skip this for this exact second. We'll come back to this because this is where the real meat and potatoes of the list is right here. Got the Dino Megazord.
We got to go back to Bulk and Skull later, sir.
We may. We'll talk about it. Dino Megazord, because there's a miniature for it. That's the only reason there's a Dino Megazord and not the other Megazords. Quality 4, Defense 2. Power Sword, 12 attacks at AP 2. This is a Zord.
Yeah, so
Cyclopsis and Goldar, and I have shown you their stat lines, are equally impressive.
Yes, they are.
This is a Zord. It should be able to F somebody up.
Yeah, right? It should be able to.
And it's got the finishing strike, 1 attack, AP4, blast 3. Blast means if that hits, it turns into 3 hits.
Yes, it does.
It has fear, which means it gets plus D3 to the number of wounds it causes to win a combat.
Mm-hmm.
It has fearless, which means when it has to make a morale check, it tests at +1. So instead of a 4+, it's a 3+. It has tough 18. It takes 18 damage to take this guy down. It is 430 points. Now, this is the economy option.
This is the economy option?
Because it has upgrade slot N. And this was mostly done if you want to take something big and bad, but you're just a handful of points shy. We wanted to give you a slightly cheaper option. And then upgrade slot N is Megazord power for 40 points.
What does Megazord power do?
Megazord power, this model gets +1 to its attack rolls for melee and shooting. So you can be hitting on 3s if you pay the extra 40 points.
Oh my god.
It's a Megazord. It's 470 points fully powered.
It's going to be...
And I imagine most games of this will be played between 1,000 and 2,000 points.
It's going to be half your force.
So even at a 2,000 point game, it's a full 25% of your army.
Yeah.
So, and that would be a big game. So the meat and potatoes really comes here. This is the Ranger team. We're going a long time. Everybody's probably capped out of the video by now. So bye, everybody. But Ranger team.
Don't actually... I didn't say bye, so don't actually go.
3, 4, 5. You can take 3 Rangers, 4 Rangers, or 5 Rangers for 60, 80, or 100 points, respectively. They all come with a close combat weapon.
Yeah.
They can take upgrade, no special rules on Ranger teams. Upgrade slots C and D. C, upgrade 1 model with Team Leader. Models with red power only, 5 points. Defender, model with a weapon with the shield rule only. Defender gives you +1 to win your melee combats.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to find something more defensive for shield, but I really couldn't find something that was truly appropriate that would really work out.
Right.
So I decided to go with this. This is based off the standard bearer rule from the main game. So here's the meat and potatoes right here. This D slot. Okay. Upgrade all models your child. You really are. You're a child. And there's a double colon here for some reason, so we got to get rid of one of those. Upgrade all models in the unit. 2B. Dino Thunder Rangers, Grid Battle Force Rangers, Hyperforce Rangers, Mighty Morphin Rangers, Omega Rangers, Space Rangers, Zeo Rangers, or Forever Rangers. As I said at the beginning, I have not figured out how to quite integrate the Once a Ranger rules. I know they're coming. That's why I made a comment earlier. I also have not found a good way to integrate the Metallic Armor Rangers. Maybe I'll just give them Regeneration or something, but I couldn't really make their defense better because it's already 2.
Right.
So Dino Thunder Rangers, unit gains Dino Gems rule and upgrade chart E. So if you pay 25 points on top of your Ranger unit. So say you took a 3-man squad.
Right, because I want the red, blue, and yellow.
You took a 3-man squad, you'd be at 60 points.
Okay.
Actually, let's take a 5-man squad so we can give you the full points. Took a 5-man squad of Dino Thunder. That's 100 points. Base. Then you pay the 25 to become Dino Thunder Rangers. So you're at 125, and you have the Dino Gems rule. Whenever you roll an unmodified of 6 to hit while using this weapon, it counts as having AP4 and ignores Regeneration. So it basically gives them rending.
Right, okay.
All right. So the Dino Gems, 25 points, and then there's the power weapons. So when you buy your power weapons, and I think it's actually in the guidelines on how to use this list, but I forgot to say it. When you buy one power weapon, the way it's designed right now is you have to buy all the power weapons.
Right.
And it's designed that way because I don't want to run into a situation where if somebody actually gets their group onto this, you don't have that guy who goes, well, there's one ranger with a shooting weapon, and that's not really designed for what I'm going for in my 5-man team, so I'll just buy the good power weapons and not do that. The goal is to be thematic with this game. If you're going to buy one, buy them all. So you're at 125. You upgrade your Red Ranger to have the Red Tyranno Rod, 3 attacks, poison, and a shooting attack, 18-inch range, attacks 1 AP1. That's 10 more points. You're at 135. You add in the Blue Tricera Shield, 3 attacks, has the shield rule.
Aha!
So you're at 140. 150 if you want to give Defender. 155 if you want to make the Red Ranger a leader. Mm-hmm. So let's say you did all that, you're at 155. 2x Yellow Terra Grips. They are 2 attacks times 2 because it's 2x. So she has 4 attacks at 5 more points. So now we're at 160. Now, notice that I tried to make a range of weapons. Blue Tricera is going to have the fewest attacks, but basically get a free wound to win the combat if you buy that upgrade. Whereas Red has 3 attacks that could potentially shoot all the way up to 9 attacks if you rolled 3 6s to hit. Whereas yellow will consistently always have 4. So sometimes red will get less, sometimes red will get more. Yellow will always consistently have 4 attacks. So we're 160 with yellow. Add in the black Brachio Staff. 3 attacks, poison, 18-inch range, attack 1, AP 1. Doing research, it seems like the Brachio Staff and the red Tyranno Staff are very similar. To make my life easier, I just give them the same rules. That's another 10 points. So we're 170?
Mm-hmm.
The white Drago Sword, 2 attacks at AP 2. It also has an energy shot.
Why is there a dragon all of a sudden in there?
Dragons are dinosaurs. So where we're at? We're at 125, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. 180 points gets you a fully decked out Dino Thunder team. I say you don't want to do that. Say you want to do just 3 of them. You can. You pick which 3 power weapons you want because you're buying 1 per color.
Right.
So if you decided to make your team blue, black, and white, you could. That is an option to you. If you want to do red, blue, and yellow, because that's like the core, okay. You can. It's an option to you. You have these choices. Grid Battle Force Rangers. They gain the Morphex special rule and upgrade chart F. This is +5 per Ranger. Morphex special rule. When this model fights in melee, roll a die and get a bonus. 1 to 3, 8 plus a 1 AP, 4 to 6, enemies get -1. So again, there are 3 Battle Force Rangers. These are the Beast Rangers, Beast Morphers. Mm-hmm. They're 60, +5 each. You're at 75. They get upgrade chart F. You want to give them their power weapons. So they were at 75? Make a Red Ranger, you got 80, 90, 100 points. And if you give them all Beast X blasters, you're at 115 points for a fully decked out Beast Morpher squad.
Okay.
So you got the 2X Red Cheetah Claws, 2 attacks and rending. The blue Beast Saber, just 3 attacks. Yellow Beast Saber, just 3 attacks. Why did I give them just 3 attacks and no AP? Because they have a chance to get AP on their special rule.
Right.
Beast X Blasters, 12 inches, tax 1, rending. Hyperforce Rangers. There are no special rules. They are free. It is free to make your team Hyperforce. And what I really should have done is say what upgrade chart you get there. So there's an edit I need to make.
Yeah.
They actually get access to upgrade chart G. And you'll notice upgrade chart G is the biggest upgrade chart.
Because they have all sorts of cool things that they can play with.
Because their power weapons are morphable.
Yes.
So the Red Ranger has the Iptis Blaster, which converts to the Iptis Claws.
Yes.
The Yellow Ranger has the Cryas Cannon, which converts to the Cryas Hammer. Now, if you'll remember the guidelines on how to use this list, you can only use 1 weapon of each color. So right. You have to pick what you're going to do. So if you wanted to make a shooty squad, you might give them the Iptis Blaster, the Oceanus Blades, because they actually have a ranged attack.
Right.
The Cryas Cannon, the Koei Shield.
So then you can get that shield ability in there.
You can get that shield ability if you get into melee, and that's where you're not good, and the Hyperion Bow. Or if you want to go melee, you can do
all the melee.
Any combo you want. That's what the Hyperforce Rangers are all about, is flexibility. They can get pretty expensive because some of those are really good weapons.
Yeah, they can.
I mean, look at the Yellow Cryas Hammer. 2 attacks, AP 3, deadly 3.
Yeah, that's real nice.
Mighty Morphin Rangers. Unit gains the Teenagers with Attitude special rule and upgrade chart H. That's 10 per Ranger. And again, this kind of goes into why it's 3, 4, 5. You want a red power sword. You want it to be Jason. You don't want to buy Hero Jason. You could buy it in this squad. You just wouldn't get any of those special rules. This is very flexible. Teenagers with Attitude. Units with this special rule get +1 to their morale tests.
Because they're the OG.
They're the OG. And upgrade chart H. I'll kind of blow through some of these upgrade charts real quick because there's not a whole lot left to say about them. You should be able to read the stats at this point, I think. Upgrade chart H, you got your Power Axe or the Cosmic Cannon, the Pink Power Bow, the Blue Power Lance, the Yellow Power Daggers, and the Red Power Sword. And you can take Blade Blasters for all of them. We'll skip Omega for now. We'll come back to them because that's the last one I do actually want to talk about. Space Rangers, units gain the Galaxy Glider special rule and upgrade chart J. +10 per Ranger. Galaxy Gliders, you may choose not to deploy a mod. This is the ambush rule.
Right. Okay. So that's what I figured.
You could actually slap Tommy into this unit and they'd all have ambush.
I could slap Tommy into that unit and they could all leave. Hey!
Oh, I thought you liked the Space Rangers.
I like the Space Rangers.
So you'll notice I have 3, 4, 5 as the Ranger options. I did put something special in here for the Space Rangers. So they've got all of their power weapons. And the Silverizer is an option. You can also take for the Silver Ranger. You can also add Astro Blasters if you would like. You may also choose the following once in a 5-model Ranger squad. add an additional ranger using the same quality and defense as the unit for plus 30 points. So you can get the space up to 6 and then buy all 6 of the power weapons.
Ooh.
So pretty cool there. Zeo Rangers, they gain stronger than before and upgrade chart K. Upgrade chart K. Oh, and then finally, Forever Rangers, see the rules on page 1. It's free to call them Forever Rangers. You don't get a special rule.
Right.
Other than being able to take power weapons off every list. So stronger than before and upgrade chart K. Upgrade chart K, you got your power shield, your power clubs, your power axe, power hatchets, power sword, and you can Zeo laser pistols.
Pew pew.
Stronger than before.
This unit may roll 1 extra attack in melee for each unmodified roll of 6 to hit. Nice. This roll doesn't apply to newly generated attacks. Okay.
So if I roll 4 6s to hit, that gives me 4 extra attacks. I roll those dice. Say I roll 4 more 6s. That does not make 4 more.
Ah, okay. You're not stacking and stacking and stacking.
Correct. It's not continuous exploding.
I mean, have you seen an episode of Power Rangers?
I mean, well, that's why Colorful Explosions is a spell. Finally, we have the Omega Rangers. I did maybe go a little bit big on the Omega Rangers as far as their weapons, but again, the Omega Rangers, well, they're now my favorite Ranger team. And, you
have extra thing in there.
Extra thing.
You have an extra parentheses in the yellow Omega hammer.
Sweet. That's what they deserve them.
I mean, okay, I'm for that. I agree.
That's plus 5 points per Ranger, and they have upgrade chart I. I actually may make them even stronger because they're supposed to be like the elite Ranger squad.
Yes.
A lot of war games have like that real small squad that's ridiculously over the top, but then when it dies, it's like, oh, that was a lot of points. That's kind of how I see the Omegas. Actually, I see the Beast Morphers a little bit like that too, so I may actually upgrade their power. But their power weapons, the Red Omega Katana, 4 attacks, but only AP2.
Mm-hmm.
That's 15 points. So again, we're 60 points to buy the unit, 5 per to go to Omega. So now we're at 75, 80 to go up to a team leader. We're now at 95. The yellow Omega Hammer, 2 attacks, AP3, deadly 3 for 20. We're now at what? We were at 95?
Sure.
So we're at 115. We're at 125 for this full squad. Black Omega Kamas, 3 attacks, AP1, blast 3. So Zach could potentially be whacking you with 9 attacks. Trini could potentially be doing 6 damage, and Jason just is power sorting you in the face, basically. Their special rule, as I said, is did I write this? Yeah, Omega Now, Omega Forever, as it should be. Omega Now, Omega Forever. When this unit fights in melee, pick one of the following: Omega Now for +1 to hit rolls. Omega Forever. Enemies get -1.
I mean.
So there it is. There is the Legendary Ranger Force Army list in its entirety. Probably way too long of a video. Probably nobody watching it all the way through. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to this Google Doc in the description. I hope it works. I don't really link Google Docs a whole lot. It might work. If it doesn't work, comment. Yeah. Please comment on the list. Tell us what you think. We do want to play a game with this and the Forces of Evil as they currently stand very shortly to kind of show you how this all plays out as an army.
Yes.
So I know some of you who have been kind of following this project are having a hard time envisioning it. Probably don't envision a whole army of this. So if you've only watched the skirmish battle reports, we do have one upcoming. Hopefully within the next week or two. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, between car repairs and baseballs and
fortunately their car repairs I'll be doing myself. I mean,
yes,
it's,
and Chris and I being
lazy. But anyway, this is comment on the Legendary Ranger Force. Let me know what you think. Let me know if your group has tried the skirmish rules for OnePageRules off of these Power Rangers here, or if I'm utterly wasting my time.
Don't tell him if he's doing that.
Like and subscribe for more content. Check out our sponsor, High Voltage Wear. Hit that bell button for notifications, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.